What's up everyone? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about the pelvic floor, and I'm going to share with you my best tips on how you can start strengthening these muscles. So make sure you watch all the way to the end. You won't want to miss this one. If you're new here, my name is Eric and I'm a mental health physiotherapist, and this channel is dedicated to mental health physiotherapy and helping you to overcome men's health issues. I post new videos weekly, so please make sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button below and join our growing community. Alright, let's dive straight into this one. Now, for a lot of men watching, this might be the very first time you're even learning you have a pelvic floor. And that's okay, because we're going to cover it all. And at the end of the video, you'll have a good understanding of what these muscles are, what they do, and how you can strengthen them. For most, we only think of women having pelvic floor muscles and their role in childbirth and the recovery afterwards. Well, much like women, men have a pelvic floor as well. And this group of muscles is located in your pelvis, and they act as a hammock attaching from the front all the way to the back to support your bladder and your bowels. Now, your pelvic floor muscles are extremely important to you and your daily life because they help you in achieving and sustaining erections. Your pelvic floor muscles also help you with your bladder and bowel movements through the use of muscle contractions and sphincters. Now, imagine these sphincters to be a gate which open and close to allow fecal matter and urine pass through into the toilet. A good example of this is, have you ever found yourself standing in front of a urinal and all of a sudden you've been able to stop your stream of urine and then start it again? Well, this action of stopping and starting your urine stream is the result of your pelvic floor contracting and your sphincters opening and closing. Now, the more fluids you drink during the day, the more your bladder fills. Your bladder starts to really weigh down on your pelvic floor muscles that are acting as a hammock to hold everything up. And your pelvic floor strength and endurance combined with your sphincters is essentially how you hold your bladder in between trips to the bathroom. Okay, so how is this all relevant to you? Well, if you're currently experiencing any prostate issues, or if you've had a prostate surgery, your internal plumbing, aka your pelvic floor and sphincters, are likely affected and need some rehabilitation. Some of the issues you might be experiencing are erectile dysfunction, where you're not able to achieve a full erection or an erection that is firm enough for self-pleasure or penetrative sexual intercourse. You might be leaking urine throughout the day, soiling your underwear, or even leaking urine during sexual intercourse. And you might even be having issues with the power of your stream and urine flow when going to the bathroom. All of these symptoms are very common when experiencing issues with your prostate, or they can even happen naturally as you age and your pelvic floor gradually starts to weaken. Much like every other muscle in your body, your pelvic floor muscles need three things to remain healthy and working in tip-top order. And they are adequate blood flow, nervous stimulation, so your brain sends messages down through your nerves to your pelvic floor telling it to contract, and lastly is lifestyle factors. But the good news is that no matter your situation, you can see good improvements to your situation by strengthening your pelvic floor. And there are so many strategies and tools that you can use to help speed up your rehabilitation, and we're going to cover them right now. Okay, so we just went over the three things your pelvic floor needs for good health and function. So that's blood flow, nerve stimulation, and lifestyle factors. My very first suggestion is for you to go to your local doctor to run some tests to see which of those three areas you're lacking in. For help increasing blood flow to the pelvic floor, say for help achieving erections, your doctor can easily prescribe you medications such as Cialis or Viagra for help increasing the blood flow to your erectile tissue and to your penis. This will help you achieve and maintain erections. Now, if you've had a prostatectomy or any other prostate-related procedure, you might have experienced some nerve damage during your operation. And this nerve damage will affect the function of your pelvic floor. But fear not, there is still a lot that you can do to improve your situation to help your pelvic floor recover. These are strategies such as learning how to properly contract your pelvic floor and gradually building strength into these muscles for better control over your bladder and your bowels. Using products such as an erection vacuum device and self-injections for help achieving and sustaining an erection when your nerves aren't working properly. So regardless of whether your nerves are damaged or not, there is still something you can do and things you can try to improve your situation. It might not be a perfect fix, but it's definitely worth trying to see what will work for you. And lastly, some of the lifestyle factors you need to be aware of to help you rehabilitate and strengthen your pelvic floor are bladder habits. And this includes monitoring the amount of fluids you're consuming during a typical day. Because if you're experiencing urine leakages, the more you drink and consume fluids, typically the worse your leakage will become. Now, I'm not telling you to stop consuming water and fluids. You must learn what's best for your body to help start your rehabilitation, and a professional such as a urologist or a physiotherapist can help you get started down that right path. Other lifestyle factors are how much caffeine and alcohol you are consuming, because with coffee and alcohol, both are diuretics in nature, which means they are going to increase the amount that you urinate. So the more coffee and alcohol you can consume, the worse your urinary symptoms are going to be. Now, this does not mean that you must give up coffee and alcohol forever. I suggest just limiting your consumption until you start seeing some good improvements with your urine leakage, and then you can slowly start to reintegrate coffee and alcohol back into your diet if needed and if wanted. Weight management is another big factor that contributes to the health of your pelvic floor. So a lot of good research has found that men who are overweight or obese have a much harder time rehabilitating their pelvic floor. And there is so much research available that tells us cardiovascular exercise such as walking, running, hiking, cycling, and swimming is a proven way to help speed up your pelvic floor recovery, and also a great way to achieve harder erections, as well as to help you better control your weight. Now, I know that's a whole lot of information to take in, but let's look at this from a glass half full perspective. I have just listed half a dozen areas where you can improve on to help your body and your pelvic floor recover, so that you can start to see some serious changes in your urinary issues. If you're currently experiencing urinary symptoms or pelvic floor dysfunction, I suggest you ask yourself, number one, have I expressed these concerns to my healthcare team? So urologist, GP, physiotherapist. Number two, do I know how to properly contract my pelvic floor? Number three, am I drinking too much water and fluids during the day, making my symptoms worse? Number four, am I a bit overweight and maybe in need of some healthier meal options? Number five, am I completing enough exercise each week to maintain a healthy weight? Number six, and finally, am I consuming too much alcohol and or caffeine, which is making my urinary symptoms worse? Now, if you're truly being honest with yourself, and when asking these questions, you should be able to identify at least one or two areas that you can start to improve on. And that's the beautiful part about your pelvic floor and helping to decrease your urinary symptoms. It doesn't matter what situation you find yourself in, there's always something you can do to help improve your situation. Because when it comes to strengthening your pelvic floor, it's very similar to wanting to build muscle and tone the rest of your body. If you're looking to tone up your arms, chest, maybe leg muscles, you'll need to eat a healthy diet, get plenty of exercise in to help you lose body fat, and you'll need to learn how to properly contract and exercise each muscle group you're looking to improve. Well, the same applies for your pelvic floor. The only difference is that you can't see your pelvic floor muscles like you can with your biceps and triceps. However, you must learn how to properly engage these muscles to start noticing some big improvements in your urinary symptoms. All right, we just covered the role and the function of your pelvic floor, and I also touched on a guide you can follow to assess which parts of your lifestyle factors you can start making changes with. If you're looking for resources on how to strengthen your pelvic floor and how to feel a contraction properly, I'll link a video that I made on this topic above. So be sure to check out my YouTube channel and that video. I have dozens of videos on my channel to help you improve your situation, whether you're experiencing urinary incontinence, erectile dysfunction, or just pelvic floor dysfunction. Also, if you have any specific questions to ask, please comment down below. I promise I'll respond to almost every comment. And that's going to wrap up today's video on Pelvic Floor 101. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to click the like button if you found this video helpful. It helps me tremendously. And consider clicking the subscribe button so that you can join our growing community. Thank you so much for your time, and remember, regardless of your situation, keep going, and I'll see you in the next video.